Turn to M3 and Karen B for this week's episode of Comply on the Fly. You'll get quick and timely answers to the most common compliance questions so you and your business can keep moving ahead. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Please seek the advice of counsel for any benefit compliance related implementation guidance or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B., and the Comply on the Fly question of the week is, what do I need to know for ACA reporting for 2021? Yes, it is that time of year again when applicable large employers or ALEs start thinking about 1094, 1095C reporting for the 2021 calendar year. So I just wanted to share a few reminders as we head into that season. First of all, the reporting requirement applies to any employer subject to the shared responsibility requirements of ACA. Employers with 50 or more full-time and full-time equivalent employees are subject to those requirements, and that threshold is determined based on the number of employees in the preceding calendar year. There is a very prescribed way to determine if you meet the 50 employee threshold. If you are unsure how to do this, contact your M3 account team for M3's ACA Preparedness Guide. Second, remember that you are completing 1095Cs only for full-time employees. The only exception is if you are self-funded and offer coverage to individuals working less than 30 hours. Otherwise, 1095Cs are only for those employees that you are required to make an offer of coverage to. In other words, those employees you have determined are full-time, meaning they're working 30 or more hours per week, through one of the two acceptable methods to determine the 30-hour threshold, either the look-back measurement method or the monthly measurement method. Third, the 2021 forms are out, and you can find them on irs.gov. There are really no significant changes to the forms from 2020. Just remember, there were many codes added for employers that offer individual coverage HRAs, or what we refer to as ICRAs. If you do not offer an individual coverage HRA or ICRA, you do not need to worry about those additional codes. Finally, let's talk deadlines. You must provide the 1095C to your employees by January 31st, 2022. In previous years, there were extensions to that date, but do not expect any extensions for this year. You must also file your 1095Cs along with your 1094C with the IRS. If you are doing that by mail, they're due by February 28th, 2022. And if you're filing electronically, the deadline to file is March 31st, 2022. Remember, you must file electronically if you will be submitting 250 or more 1085Cs. If you need more assistance, M3 will be hosting a webinar the first week in January of 2022. Clients will receive an invitation for more in-depth information on the forms and coding. We will also cover more reporting questions in upcoming Comply on the Fly episodes. And that is your Comply on the Fly question of the week. Thanks for tuning in.
What's on your mind? If you have a pressing compliance question, send it to askkarenb@m3ins.com. We'll do our best to cover it in an upcoming episode of Comply on the Fly. Make sure to tune in next week and encourage others to join us.